AP KYIV, Ukraine. Even as both sides observed Orthodox Christmas on Saturday, Ukraine's president praised the United States for including tank-killing armored vehicles in its most recent multibillion-dollar military aid package, saying they are exactly what is needed for Ukrainian troops engaged in combat against Russian forces. The $3.75 billion in weaponry and other supplies announced by the White House on Friday for Ukraine and its European backers coincided with Moscow's announcement that its troops are observing a brief Orthodox Christmas ceasefire. Officials from Ukraine called the unilateral 36-hour break a ruse and claimed that some of Moscow's military continued the nearly 11-month assault despite it. On Saturday, Russian shelling attacks were reported by Ukrainian officials in the areas of Dnipropetrovsk and Zaporizhzhia. The most extensive military aid from the U.S. to Ukraine to date was included in the most recent package. It contained 50 Bradley armored vehicles and 500 of the anti-tank missiles they may fire for the first time. Additionally, France pledged wheeled AMX-10 RC tank destroyers, while Germany said it would provide about 40 Marder armored personnel carriers. Together, this week's assurances were strong indications that Ukraine can rely on ongoing, long-term assistance from the West in its fight against Russian President Vladimir Putin's efforts to sever the nation. On Friday, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky praised the U.S. aid package as extremely powerful in his nightly televised speech. He congratulated Joe Biden, the President of the United States, as well as lawmakers and all Americans who value freedom and recognize that freedom is worth maintaining. The Orthodox Christmas holiday, which was observed by both Russians and Ukrainians, highlighted the hostility that Russia's invasion is causing between them. For the first time in decades, the Christmas service in a revered cathedral in Ukraine's capital, Kyiv, was conducted in Ukrainian on Saturday rather than Russian, underscoring the country's efforts to rid itself of the last vestiges of Moscow's control over its religious, cultural, and economic life. A UNESCO World Heritage Site, the monastery complex. The cathedral was created over 1,000 years ago and was rebuilt in the 1990s after being destroyed during World War II. Among the many worshippers there, Alex Fiziak stated, "It's a great time." This location, which is in Kyiv and is on Ukrainian soil, has previously been associated with Moscow. "We now feel that this is Ukrainian and belongs to us. This is a component of the Ukrainian people." The head of the Kremlin-aligned Russian Orthodox Church, Patriarch Kirill, first suggested the Putin-ordered Christmas ceasefire, which began on Friday. The Julian calendar is used by the Orthodox Church, which observes Christmas on January 7th. According to Putin's directive, a ceasefire would permit worshippers in conflict areas to go to Christmas services. The stoppage was scheduled to conclude on Saturday night at 11 p.m. in Kyiv, or at midnight Moscow time. Fighting has persisted at a normal level into the Orthodox Christmas season, according to the British Ministry of Defense, a major provider of military assistance to Ukraine. Regional Governor Serhiy Haidai claimed that Russian shelling and attacks were still occurring in the hotly contested Luhansk area of eastern Ukraine. Haidai claimed in a message posted on Telegram on Friday that within the first 3 hours of the ceasefire, Russian soldiers blasted Ukrainian positions 14 times and stormed one settlement 3 times. The assertion was not independently verifiable. Russian soldiers reportedly attacked towns in the east, northeast, and south with a missile strike and 20 rocket salvos, according to the General Staff of the Ukrainian Armed Forces. On Saturday, the governor of Ukraine's eastern Donetsk region confirmed 2 civilian casualties caused by Russian airstrikes the day before in the hotly disputed cities of Bakhmut and Krasnohora. Governor Yaroslav Yanushevich reported on Saturday that Russian forces shelled the southern Kherson district 39 times on Friday, striking homes, apartment complexes, and a fire station. There was 1 fatality and 7 injuries.